So today is my very pleasure to be joined by Christian Taylor. Christian is double Olympic champion in the triple jump, 2012 and 2016. Christian is triple world champion in the triple jump. Christian also, interestingly, is 400-meter junior world champion, 4 times 400 meters. Is that correct?
Correct.
And also world relay champion, 4 times 400 meters in 2014.
Yes, yeah. So mixing it up.
So you have explosive power and you have stamina.
Yes, I think the balance for sure helps me in the triple jump, but most of all, yeah, it just helps me mentally have an advantage, a competitive edge over my competitors.
Okay, cool. And Christian has been introduced to me by our mutual friend, Steve McEwen, who's changing the landscape of Israeli cycling.
Yes.
Shout out to Steve here.
Thanks, Steve.
Welcome, Christian.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Cool. So, Christian, let's get started with the interview. In your life as an athlete, what was your darkest moment?
I think the most difficult part of my career actually was when I was 24, and actually I was at the World Championship. So by this time I was actually, world champ, Olympic champ. So to have these back to back, I was feeling great, and ended up going to Moscow World Championships in 2013, and actually was having a lot of tendonitis issues, a lot of struggles with my knees. And throughout the whole season, I was more focused on staying healthy than I was even to compete, And so most of the training was, what can we do to keep the inflammation down? What can we do that we don't irritate or injure myself to the point that we can make it to World Championships? This thinking is not the way to reach world records, to win gold medals. When you're thinking of maintenance instead of the competitiveness, it's very difficult. So my coach, Raina, and I, we really did what we had to do to get through the season, ended up with the 4th place. And yeah, that to not be on the podium, especially to be the first person off the podium it took everything from me. And so this was very, very low point in my career, in my life actually. And then it came to the decision where we decided to actually switch legs, which was a bit of a risk, but we thought it's the only way that, maybe we can challenge the record again. Maybe we can challenge, ourselves and to be at the professional level again. And now many years later, more titles have come, and we've even jumped further. And so it was a bit of a risk, but I'm grateful for this low because it's set up for many more highs.
Interesting. I've noted that down for a later question. But listening around a little bit, I made my research and I read that you switched legs, and
Correct.
Some people consider it as impossible. So somehow you made the impossible possible. How did you do that?
At the end of the day, if you have the right support, anything is possible. Really, I'm now reading about the Wright brothers and hearing about their journey of flight. And things just don't happen overnight. Things don't happen on the first try. But if you have the right support, they had each other. I have really my family, Raina, my coach, really that we are staying focused on the dream, staying focused on the task at hand. And so, there were many meetings. I was barely jumping 17 meters coming from almost jumping 18, and so this is quite a big difference. And it's really that you focus on the positive every single competition, and so at first I said, if I could make it to the sand again, it's a good start, because now I'm jumping from the other foot, and then you just set really tangible goals and work your way back, or actually maybe sometimes it pushes you too far and then you decide, okay, this is not for me. But my dreams and my passion was so strong, and really having the support group around me was what actually brought me back to the top.
Nice. Interesting. And I can imagine that in these moments when things aren't going that great, that doubts are creeping into your head.
Absolutely.
How do you deal with that?
Every day, every day you think, what am I doing? is this really worth it? For me, I was world Olympic champ, you know, it was actually okay way to walk away, you know, at 21, 22, cool. I reached my dream. But for me, it just seems so early, you know, and I thought, no, my story cannot end here. I maybe have the opportunity to be an example for the next generation, for other athletes that are really going through something, whatever it may be. But can show them that really, if you want something bad enough, if that fire is really burning enough, that you find a way to make it happen. And so this is really what kept me driving when those negative thoughts would creep and those sleepless nights, because I'm thinking, yeah, can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? Once I get to training, and like I said, I had my coach, and I come home and I have these thoughts, and I call my sister and she said, hey, like, don't give up, stay with it. You know, these are the moments that really stick with you.
And I guess I can still hear the fire burning in you. That's nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What did you learn from that moment?
I think with whether watching athletics or being an athlete, you can learn about just actually mankind. Like, you can learn actually the strength that we all have within. I think this is really special, that sometimes you can watch a performance and think, wow, what an out of body experience. But it's really, this athlete just tapped into their full potential, you know? And so for me, this is something I will actually take into life after track, life post my career. You know, it's really showed me that I actually am stronger mentally and physically than I actually once believed. You know, I thought, yeah, maybe to get to 18 meters would be the dream. To be an Olympian would be, yeah, I couldn't even imagine. I said, if I even got to the Olympics, I would wear the opening ceremony outfit every single day, you know. But then you make it and you think, wow, I have potential to be more. You know, maybe I was selling myself short. And so really these moments teach you actually what you're really made of.
Nice. Interesting. Cool. What was your best moment?
My proudest moment for sure would be, I would say Rio 2016. This was for me. Now I jumped 18 meters again, and I was world champion again, and the Olympics are really like nothing else. And it was really defending this title. There was a lot of emotion, a lot of expectation, a lot of pressure from sponsors, family, whatever it may be. It was a lot of pull, and I didn't want to let anyone down. And now, learning what I know this should not be the focus, but at this time it was. You know, I really wanted to do it for everyone else. And this put so much pressure on myself, but at the end, it was so rewarding to be on the podium and really just right in front of it was my friends, my family from all over the world, you know. And I mean, even coming back to Papendal afterwards, I felt like this was even my family there, you know. And so I felt really so proud that I could make so many people proud. And this was really a moment that stirs in me even now.
Interesting. So you said you shouldn't focus on that, and I think that's what we hear. You shouldn't do it for someone else.
Correct.
Just trying to sort the thoughts in my head. Do you think your motivation was higher because you did it for someone else, as if you would have done it for yourself? It's a hypothetical question, I know that, but interested to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. I just think when you're doing it for yourself, you know, you could be more focused. You can, like, the drive is different. The effort is different. You know, it's in 2012, I thought, yeah, if I could be Olympic champ, it would be fantastic, you know, but it would be a dream come true. Yeah, really, my career would be signed off. I could really lay my head down saying I did it all, you know. And 2016, it was now, I didn't want to let people down. So I was not even focused on my performance, but just not disappointing people. And I think going into a competition like this, it's not healthy, but it's also not the right mindset. You know, if I did not win, if I came second, I would have felt so defeated. I would have felt like I let others down. And in reality, it's not the truth. You know, if I give my best effort, I think all my friends and family actually would have celebrated with me just as much, you know. And so I think this was really something I had to learn through experience, and something I'm grateful for and want to pass on.
Cool. Interesting. So what did you learn from that moment?
Now I learned for preparation for 2020 that the preparation is only between Reina and myself. That we will set a plan and we just stick with this, and when this moment comes to really be in the moment, really capitalize and seize this moment and to be a 3-time Olympian would, I never imagined being 1-time, so to even say this for me is very exciting, but that is what I focus on, really take away all the positives and just live in that moment.
Interesting. I've taken down a note here that I thought is very interesting. I heard you say in an interview, I think it was a video interview, you're always looking for ways to make yourself uncomfortable, and in order to learn to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
Right, correct.
How do you do that?
Just challenge yourself. Really, I'm a sponge, and whether in the weight room, whether on the track, I'm traveling the world, and they say, like, if you stop learning, you're dead, and so for me, there's some place I can go and see an exercise and think, I've never done this, I've never thought about this, why not incorporate this? It's insanity to do the same thing and expect different results, right? And so this is the mentality that really somebody maybe next to me or somebody across the world may have a solution, may have an answer that can help a weakness of mine that maybe can help me just go a bit further, and so this is now a challenge I constantly put against myself. And sometimes, again, Reina is saying, yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing? But I think really, if you are not pushing the barriers, if you are not changing things up, your body is so adaptive. The brain is so smart, and doing the same thing over and over, then at some point it just becomes dull, and so to keep sharp, to keep this edge, you have to find these new things. And I think with this really continual thinking in my training, when I get to a championship, for me, I think, wow, I've seen so much. I've done so many different things in my preparation. I'm ready. And this is the confidence I take into these competitions.
Nice. Interesting. Cool. If you could go back in time 10 or 15 years, what advice would you give a younger Christian Taylor?
This is a really great one. The number one thing for sure, it would be slow down. Really enjoy the team, enjoy the barbecues. Like when I was younger, my dream was Olympics, but the thing is, I said, I would do everything for the Olympics, and this is it. I'd rather spend a weekend on the track than a weekend with friends. In reality, it's about a balance. You have to really enjoy some time with your friends, also, and sacrifice for the track. And so for me, it would be just take it in stride, really be in these moments, and know that at the end it will come, that I have the tools that can get there, but just to really enjoy the moment.
You do that more nowadays?
Now I do it. Now I'm in Vienna with my girlfriend, and I love the city. Even when I was at Papendal, Arnhem is so cozy, but to be honest, every weekend, my girlfriend and I were really exploring Holland. We'd go to Noordwijk, we'd go to Giethoorn, we'd go really, Den Bosch. Every weekend we would go for a jazz festival, walks on the beach, really, just to get out and enjoy life. We have an opportunity to live abroad, and why not capitalize on that? Why would I wait till I'm done with my career to say, I wish I traveled more? Why not do it now? I'm traveling as it is. This is my lifestyle. So why not make the most of it? And for this, I'm really grateful to now take this on.
That's cool. Okay. Interesting. Christian, I read about, I also saw the fire of becoming a professional athlete got lightened when you saw a football World Cup. Is that correct?
It's true. It's true.
Out of interest, which football World Cup was it?
This is so long ago. I really have no idea even which year this was.
Who won the World Cup?
Yeah.
Maybe we get closer to the answer.
Wow, this is so long ago. I never had somebody ask me this,
I saw it in an interview, and you said like, "Oh, I was so excited! I saw them take the shirts out."
Yeah, of
And
course. Yeah. I mean, I
What
remember
was
really
it?
just having Brazil jerseys and really being in my uncle's basement, really my father, like, so yeah, my dad worked for Delta when I was younger, and they had like a soccer league themselves, and they were traveling. Yeah, we traveled to San Marino one time to play a tournament, to Rome, to Malta. So really, soccer was my life, and I just thought, what would it be like to be at the top of this level? We win tournaments or we play traveling around the world, and I think, what a cool life. But to think millions of people are watching the World Cup, and you can score and celebrate with your team. I mean, really, from the person that scores to the goalie, I said, this is fantastic. This must be, a dream come true, And so I really thought football was going to be my future, but in reality, obviously, it became track and field, and then after this, Usain Bolt really struck this light for me. I could say really watching him in Beijing 2008, I thought, wow, this guy has now changed track and field for our generation, and this got me pumped, thinking maybe one day I can jump far enough that people will sit in front of the TVs, waiting to see what I would do.
Yeah. Cool. Interesting. Okay. What are the habits that make you a successful person or athlete?
As I speak about now, it's really finding balance. So it's really important to have fun in everything you do, regardless of what it is. So I think finding a balance between working hard, dedication, and actually just having fun. And I think also, just finding something else to do outside of your sport. So for me right now, I'm even finishing my degree, and I think having school to just really, once I get off the track, I'm already thinking what exam I have next, what do I need to be preparing for, what paper I have with a group assignment, things like this. I think really this gives me really good separation, that I'm not almost bringing my work home, and this was something I struggled with before, that, like I said, when I was injured, I was always constantly thinking, will I be back? Will I be back? Watching film of myself, thinking, constantly comparing myself to myself. And this was so draining. I was not able to sleep. I had really no separation, no home work balance. And now when I leave the track, that's it. When I walk through those doors, that's it. Now I become Christian, the student, Christian, the brother, Christian, really. And if you ask me about track, we can talk about it, but I'm not thinking about it.
It's probably for a follow-up interview, we talk a bit more about track and the insight. What degree are you pursuing?
Right now, sports management.
Nice.
So originally I was doing hospitality and tourism because I just love to travel and to serve. But then actually my passion went towards sports management, and I don't know, I really have a passion for helping the youth, helping the next generation, hopefully not make the same mistakes I made, and so I don't think this is really directly into coaching. But if it's mentoring, if it's whatever it may be, just helping sport go into a more positive direction.
Interesting. And more or less, how many hours a week do you spend on studying?
Oh, wow. So normally, I'd say 4 hours a day. Yeah, I would say on average, no less than 30 hours, 35 hours. Yeah, because really, I don't, not even Saturday, Sundays off, every single day. I'm at least putting 4 hours in. So, and for me, it's great because I really come alive in the night. So I really can study through the night and have little later practices.
I think we need to edit that out because you make everyone look stupid. I mean, 90% of people have a full-time job and think that's too much, and you study full-time and are a professional athlete.
Well, the cool thing is my full-time job is athletics, and so it's a little different than if I had to work a 9 to 5 and then go home, and it's not possible. But for me, why not use this period for this?
That's awesome. Cool.
Thank you.
There's another one I wanted to talk about, especially habits and successful habits. You mentioned you like to simplify things and simplify your life.
Absolutely.
Which I try to do myself also. Talk us through that approach.
Yeah. So the thing is, at one point of my life, it was about having things. It was about what I was doing, who I was doing it with, trying to take on as many things as possible. And I only found out that this made me tired. I
Hmm.
was forever chasing something, but never getting it, and it's really just a change of perspective, and for me, it really was about simplifying. When I was living at Papendal, I bought a hammock for the first time in my life, and I thought, if the weather is so nice, why not go outside and study out there? And really, my roommates thought it was a bit funny at first, but I thought, yeah, if I'm gonna study, if I'm gonna do something I enjoy, why not be in a different environment that makes me also happy? And so it was really just about just simplifying things,
Hmm.
that I don't have to be everything and do everything. But if I just focus on the little things that made me happy, this is the most important thing.
Hmm. Cool. And also, you just mentioned studying. Another thing I've noted down, you said you are good at focusing.
Mm,
Is that something that comes natural to me? So the discussion nature versus nurture, is it
mm.
something you have inside you, or is it something you trained for and acquired?
I really believe it's 50-50.
Hmm.
So I had my parents, as I said, football was always a part of my life, and so really from the time my dad was training me, he would always say, every training, every practice, focus on one thing, one task. If it's how to trap a ball, if it's how to position yourself, whatever it may be, focus on one thing. And you know, then I really took this and started to read a lot more about
Hmm.
just mindset, um, whether business mindset, athletic mindset, whatever it may be. And I thought, okay, well, the most successful people are the ones that are actually quite driven towards one thing. So if they have one vision, one mission, one thing they want to achieve, whether that's daily or whether that's the grand thing, they just remain focused on this. And so I just thought, okay, well, let me start incorporating that into my training. Let me start incorporating that into my day to day. And I thought every day, if I can really just set a goal and reach that, instead of having 50, I'm really constantly writing on post-it notes and journaling and things like this. But I think instead of trying to get 20 things done in a day, if there are 5 things that I say really would make me feel that I killed this day,
Hmm.
focus on that. And then if the rest come, it comes. Instead of watering it down, trying to do so much, and as I said, feeling tired, feeling exhausted, and still not feeling complete.
Hmm.
So it was really a bit of both. That my father really planted the seed early, but then I took it upon myself to do additional reading, and like have been blown away from the power of the mind
Hmm.
when it comes to healing, when it comes to really so many things. Just channeling your energy in the right way. The brain is so powerful.
Hmm. Cool. There's actually a book. It's called The One Thing. I forgot the author. It
Mm.
describes pretty much what you just explained. It's a really cool read.
Yeah, and who is this Dutchman that is going crazy, going hikes, going into the water?
Yeah.
I think you know who I'm speaking of.
I
But
know.
again, he's talking about really controlling your body temperature and things like.
He's crazy.
Yeah,
He does crazy things.
correct.
Uh, Wim Hof.
Yes, there you go.
Wim Hof is the name.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think things like this, studying people like this, can really help you achieve that.
Yeah. Cool. Do you have a morning routine? How do you get
Um,
ready for the day?
every day, I actually watch my church service from back in Florida. For me, this is really a happy place for me, and so I'm very close with my pastors, my church, and so every day I try to watch them back at home. It's a really good way to get me pumped and energized. Coffee for sure. I really love coffee, and then with the normal breakfast, and then after this, I actually like to watch 1 or 2 comic shows. Really just silly sitcoms, because for me, it just gets me in the mindset that to not take anything too serious, that, enjoy the day. And when you start a day, every single day with a laugh, I think it's quite healthy.
Nice. That sparked something in me. You said you're very active in the night, or you are productive in the night?
Correct.
Are you a morning person or a night person?
No,
or both?
No, only night.
Okay. So getting up is a challenge?
Getting up is a challenge. So this is why the routine is so important. The night is so open. I can do so many things, but in the morning, it's very, very sticking to the same.
Okay. Therefore, the coffee.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. How do you prepare for important moments?
To be honest, every moment is different, and so depending on where I am in my personal life affects the preparation for these moments. So for instance, in 2012, my coach and I actually went to Salzburg, Austria, and it was really an escape. It was really, I could have gone to the holding camp with the US, I could have gone to opening ceremony, but I was not ready. I was so nervous if somebody said Olympics that really I was wetting myself. And my coach said, okay, if this is really what's going on, we need to just get you away. And we went out there and just mentally escaped. This was perfect way of grounding me and getting me prepared for this championship. In Rio, I was actually with the Dutch team and we went to Portugal. And for me, it was so great to go to the beach with people. So now the nerves were different, but I knew that actually I just needed to have fun. And we would just go to, just beach resort or actually just hanging out by the pool. And this fun actually distracted me from the Olympic nerves. And so it's really just knowing yourself, having a lot of self-awareness and knowing how to prepare for that.
Okay. And then, for example, triple jump is fairly short duration, right? So once you start your run-up, there's very little you can do.
Correct.
So you need to be able to be on point before you start the run-up.
Correct.
How do you do that?
Really just muscle memory and also just consistency through training. So multiple times a week, my coach and I are working on the approach multiple times a week. How we practice is how you perform. It's crazy to think, but if I'm playing around in training and doing little movements, I found that these movements have also come into the competition. And I thought, what happened? But it's you are creating a habit, you're creating muscle memory. Mm-hmm. And so it's really being careful that how you train is really going to affect the big picture. And so just being really attentive to these movements, the way I'm thinking and mentally not just going through emotion, but putting myself in a competition, in a championship. So when this moment comes, I'm fully prepared.
Nice. Interesting. And in the 2012 Olympics, let me see, I've taken notes. The 2012 Olympics, you started off with 2 falls, right?
Correct.
So pressure was on.
Yeah, I really tell you that the nerves were like no other. It was, I wanted to jump the world record instead of actually be in the Olympic final. I thought I'd give it everything, but this excitement got the best of me. And then this is the moment actually when my coach said, stop. And we watched the 800-meter final, which was actually a world record race and the fastest 800 of all time. And he said, just do what you've prepared for. And this is what relaxed me, calmed me down, because then I thought I don't need some spectacular performance. I am ready. I've done the preparation and this confidence is what got me to the final. And then my 4th jump ended up being actually the winning jump.
How do you overcome setbacks?
Just focus on the next task, And so in our church, we say a setback is just a setup for the next best thing. And so if training is going well, I have a small injury, I don't think, how do I get back to that point? I think, okay, this is where I am now. How can I get back healthy? And just focus on getting healthy to then return to this point. But I think so many people try to leap, no pun intended, but really to leap to getting back to where they were or leap to where they expect to think they are, but it's not true. You're exactly where you need to be. And this is why you have to trust your coach, trust your trainer, trust yourself, that you three or two or however it may be, that you guys are working together, and you are also prepared that everything does not always go as planned. Everything is not always perfect. And so this setback may be an opportunity to slow down. It may be an opportunity to see what movement you may be doing incorrectly. I had so many moments that I was in the best shape of my life, and maybe I had a hamstring cramp, maybe my quad tight. Really, things happen. It's really part of athletics. And I realized, actually, this was an opportunity for me to slow down, to relax, and not get ahead of myself. That missing a competition was not the end of the world. And it was this thinking of being patient that actually prevented me getting this injury again.
Cool. Yeah. Interesting. Look at the bigger picture is what you're saying, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, right here I noted down the thing that you switched legs, but
yes.
we spoke about that before,
right.
So we can. Do you have a role model?
I would say, actually, I know it's cheesy, but my father. He was my coach. He's really my best friend. We were speaking almost every single day, and I'm really trying to learn so much personal, but also business side, how he structured himself and to work and have a family balance. Things like this are really important to me, and actually how I want to live my life in and out of track.
Interesting. That's also for a second interview, because I've thought about some athletes I've spoken to, successful athletes. They have a very good relation with their parents. It's a very interesting phenomenon. I don't know whether it's a phenomenon, but I think it's interesting that there's a strong family bond.
Unfortunately, now I think it is more of a phenomenon, because the family structure, the sense of family is becoming almost thinner, is becoming weaker. And I think quality family time and a mother and a father taking the time to raise and nurture and plant seeds that can help them have a better future, I think is actually becoming more and more rare. It's sad, but it's reality.
Yeah. I'm afraid you're right.
Yeah.
Cool. What is the best advice you received, and who gave it to you?
To be honest, right now in my life, so my friend Wolfgang Becker, who's in Salzburg, he's running the center in Salzburg. He actually just told me that everything is about priority. I actually spent right before New Year's with him and his family, and I said, okay, I'm going into a new year. I'm feeling stressed. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling that track is good, school is good, but I'm trying to juggle so much. And he said, it's about priority. Your whole day structure is about priority. What is most important? And this for me has actually helped me day in, day out. And so really, he's been now a mentor to me and someone I'm really grateful that did pass this on to me.
So you have set priorities, is what I understand?
Yeah, exactly. If training is so important and there's so many things that are on my calendar, if training is truly so important to me, I will set out a block of the day to train. You see what I'm saying? So if it's okay, if I need to eat 3 meals, because I told him sometimes maybe I'm eating 1 meal a day because I have this, and he said, that's because you've made it this way. It's really, we're not so busy. We have no reason to be stressed, but it's because we create calendars that are really hour to hour to hour to hour when, what happens if something goes over? What happens if you have traffic? What happens? And so this change of thinking has really helped me come into the new year now.
And I would fully agree with you. Everyone thinks that's for granted, but that training is a priority and all these, or training, nutrition, rest is priority. But I've seen it so many times, whatever people take for granted is something that gets lost somewhere. And then, somehow something is more important in training and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And that comes full circle with the simplification approach you talked about earlier, at least for me.
Right.
So I think it's really good.
You said it perfectly.
Cool. How does a typical training day look like?
Yeah, so Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, I'm doing gym and training, but always running first. And yes, the structure of the week is fairly like similar. That I'm jumping 2 times a week. I'm running pretty much all the other days. Thursdays and Sundays I'm having off, but a typical day would actually be, it would say training at 11 o'clock. And from this training, I would be on the track from 11 to maybe 1:30 or 2 o'clock. Have some lunch in the cafeteria. And then from there, maybe at 3:30, 4 o'clock, go to the gym for another hour and a half, 2 hours. And then that's it. Then the rest of the day is quite open.
What time do you get up?
Yeah, normally, well, regardless of the training time, it's always 2.5 hours before I need to train.
Yeah.
Giving me enough time. I mean, again, when I was at Papendal, I could walk, I think 400 meters to the training. So it was very easy, but regardless, it just gives you enough time to do everything you need to do to, as I said, I'm watching church, which is 45 minutes. I'm watching 2 shows, which is an hour, and then having breakfast, doing all these things. So it just gives you enough time to be easy, not be rushing.
Okay. Christian, we're getting to the end of the interview. I have a very difficult question for you.
Okay.
If you could choose Olympic champion 2020 or 18 meters 30, what would you pick? 18
meters 30.
Okay.
Before, it was extremely difficult. I really did not know. But yeah, to be completely honest, 18:30. Well, if I jump this at the Olympics, then I imagine I'm Olympic champion also. But yeah, right now, really, the greatest focus is world record.
Cool. So yeah, you said it. I wanted to clarify. The current world record is 18:29, if I'm correct. So 18:30 would be the new world record, right?
Correct.
You have my support, and I keep my fingers crossed for you for sure.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate that.
Do you want to nominate someone to be interviewed?
Oh, wow. This is good. Well, actually, I'm a big fan of Sharandi Martina. So if you have the opportunity to speak with him, I think this is a guy that can tell you so much. I mean, he's been in the sport for so long. And so, yeah, I'm a big fan of his, and I would nominate him.
Cool. It would be a very entertaining interview.
Yes, him. Exactly.
Very cool. Christian, where can people find you?
Yeah, my hashtag is at tailored to jump. Tailored like my last name. And yeah, if not, then smiling somewhere around the track.
Nice. Thanks a lot for your time. And I think it was a really great interview.
Thanks so much.
Christian.
Thank you.